Hello, this is the Tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, October 6, 2013, and ending Friday, October 11th. Hope you had a great trading week that just wrapped up. Wasn't very exciting in Forex. We just posted our Forex results for September. They're on the website. Nice positive month again. Won about 63% of our trades with net gains. We're happy about that. As usual, our charts brought to you by eSignal 11. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Didn't do much over the last 2 weeks. Very narrow. Started to slip this week as the budget impasse continues in Washington. But got a little bounce Friday. Probably some short covering concerns over the fact that they might resolve this thing potentially over the weekend, although there's certainly some rumors out there that we're nowhere near the resolution. So we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, as has been the case for a while now, we don't have much in the way of patterns. We don't have much in the way of sell signals. We don't have much in the way of anything. Here's the euro dollar. We did get the 13 sell signal back here. The risk line's up here. We haven't breached that. But in general, we've broken out. We had the big breakout day when the Fed made their comments about QE3. And other than that, not much else has happened. Here's the pound dollar right here. This did roll over a little better. Didn't quite get us to 13. Got to 11 on the signal there on that extended move up and rolled over. We'll take a look also at the Aussie on the daily charts. More of a cup and handle forming here. We are 6 bars up. Let's look at what happened intra-week. Ranges were not great overall. The whole week, the euro traded 160 pips of range for the week. Remember, euro usually trades about 140 average per day over time. So 140 for a week is nothing. You can see there were a lot of flat periods. One big spike on some news on Wednesday. And that's about it. The GBP, the pound, the sterling, whatever you want to call it. A little more action because it sold off sharply on Friday. We did end up with a winner on the euro on Friday. We didn't happen to have a call on the pound in this direction if you traded it from the levels anyways. Good for you. But overall, only 250 pips of range here for the whole week. And that's because of Friday. If it hadn't been for that, the pound was in the 80 pip range for the week for the first 4 days of the week. That's pretty miserable from a trading perspective on the pound. Here's the Aussie dollar. 140 pips of range here as well. So let's get back to our economic data, look at the week ahead and see what it's likely to bring for us. And we're going to go through all the data that's coming out throughout the course of the week. All right, so on Sunday we've got, and we do have, by the way, the time change in New Zealand this weekend, tomorrow. Bank holiday out of Australia on Sunday going into Monday. Leading indicators out of Japan. Foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland. Centix investor confidence out of Europe. And their final GDP number for Q2. We're done with Q2 now. Building permits out of Canada Monday morning. Consumer credit in the afternoon out of the U.S. Current account out of Japan later in the evening here in the U.S. Unemployment rate out of Switzerland. Trade balance out of Germany. Trade balance out of France, CPI out of Switzerland, retail sales out of Switzerland, German factory orders, 6 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, housing starts and trade balance out of Canada, the pound of the UK, shop price index, 7 p.m. Eastern time Tuesday night, Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia right after that, and then the monetary minutes of the last meeting of the Bank of Japan shortly after that, going into Wednesday morning here in the U.S. Manufacturing production, trade balance, industrial production in the UK. We've got a speech out of a Fed member, crude oil inventories, and nothing else here in the U.S. There's the 10-year bond auction, the minutes from the last meeting. None of that's a big deal. Japan, machinery orders, tertiary industry activity, and bank lending, all at 7:50 p.m. Eastern time Wednesday night. The MI inflation expectations out of Australia and their unemployment rate and employment change data. 30-year bond auction out of Japan. China's got their new loans and M2 money supply, if that's to be believed. You got consumer confidence out of Japan, French industrial production, and then great announcement out of the Bank of England right here, 7 a.m. Eastern time, Thursday morning. For those trading the pound, watch that. We've got another speech out of a Fed member. Unemployment claims is a weekly number here in the U.S. Natty gas after that at 10:30. Speeches out of Bank of Japan members and ECB members, 30-year bond auction here in the U.S., FPI out of New Zealand, money stock out of Japan heading into Friday. Keep in mind, we did not get our unemployment rate non-farm payroll data this Friday because the government was shut down. Should it reopen, that data might be coming out sometime this next week. Hard to say when. be aware of that. German final CPI and WPI, Italian 10-year bond auction. We've got the employment change and the unemployment rate out of Canada. Preliminary University of Michigan sentiment data, 9:55 a.m. Friday morning, or whenever the kids get up, as we like to say. We've got another member speaking from the Fed and other speeches as well Friday afternoon. Trade balance out of China over the weekend. No more time zone changes this next weekend. I think Europe is the weekend after, or the one after that. The U.S. isn't until the first week of November. So in terms of our major data, we've got no Fed meeting here in the U.S. We've got no quarterly first look at a GDP. We have none of our big three unless the unemployment data comes out from last week. So what do we have to focus on? The government shutdown. That's obviously the whole story right now, and hopefully something positive, if it's even possible, comes out of the negotiations once they do settle that. That's about it. Everybody have a great weekend. We will be trading it in the lab all week as usual.